Hi, I'm Seth, and today I'm going to talk about my tachometer build with an Arduino that I did for my final project in Vision Tech. For my project description, I chose to do an Arduino project, which is something that I've never done before, but I knew that I wanted to learn as it will be used in my next year going on to college. So I just wanted to learn about Arduinos for this project. But more than just learning, I wanted to do some kind of project, but at the beginning I didn't necessarily know what that was. Then after doing some research and looking at different projects, I decided to do a tachometer. The master of my technology used some good guides and resources. I found a good tutorial on Instructables by Mr. Innovative called How to Make Arduino-Based Digital Tachometer. I also used the Arduino forums online, such as the Getting Started one, just because I really had no clue how an Arduino worked. And I also used the instructions that came with the LCD screen of my project, which helped solve a lot of problems, and especially the biggest difficulties I had. In software, the only software I used was the Arduino software for Mac. For a project plan review, I followed my plan well at first, especially for the first week, second week, but then kind of the third week I got busy, kind of pushed it to the side, and at that point I had everything wired on my project, but I didn't have much done on the code side. So that fourth week put quite a bit of pressure then to get all the code side working, especially when I had problems at first to get my project going. So I had to do a little bit of plan adjustments. Alright, for my project results, it kind of works. It works for the most part. As you can see here, there is the Arduino here on the left, the LCD screen on the bottom right, and then this piece on the top right is the RPM counter, also pictured in the bottom picture. One of the biggest problems I had with this project was getting my LCD screen hooked up and correctly communicating with the Arduino. The RPM sensor works pretty well, especially from the beginning. It's still the RPM calculator, like in the code that I'll show you in a second, still needs a little bit of tweaking down here, as you can see, talking about the RPM rev time and the calculating of the RPM. I've done some tweaking with that to try to get more accurate results as well. To basically go over the code, this top up here defines all of the LCD or the Arduino digital points and the pins that it uses to communicate with the LCD screen. From pins 12, 11, 6, 5, and 4 is then hooked up to the LCD screen, in which I use the guide that came with the LCD screen to hook that up, and also from the tutorial. And then down towards the bottom, this has to deal with what's printed on the LCD screen. And then right here where my mouse is, deals with the calculating of the RPM. For an overview, the part that just kind of any project, what's most scary about any project is what you don't know, because you don't know how much time it's going to take. Especially going in that fourth week, not having a whole lot of code experience and having to jump into that, I was nervous of how long it was going to take me, especially when at that point I didn't have my LCD screen working the best. That was my biggest problem, was getting the contrast to work well on the LCD screen so actually something would light up and be red on the screen. I actually learned that the screen needs two sources of power, one for the backlight and then one for the text, which I did not know at first, which is why I couldn't get any text to light up on my screen. But after looking at the instructions that came with online for my LCD screen, I was able to figure that out. So definitely getting the LCD screen to work was the most successful moment, as then really the code and everything else just fell into place for me. And I'd like to thank you for watching my video today on my tachometer build with an Arduino. Thank you.